Hey traders, how are you? This is Rick, founder of Hit and Run Candlesticks. I want to thank you all for watching our video. Hey, I'm going to go through this video and be talking about a few charts in the market and really what we follow as a system. Pretty much it's a trend following swing trade program is what we do. And I'd be more than happy to share that with you here on YouTube. And if there's anything else you want to know more in depth, we do have a 30-day trial. I think it's like 82 cents a day, well worth it. So check down at the bottom if you're interested. You can click on that link, join our room, and also get free trade ideas delivered to you through our special app. Anyway, swing trade with the trend. That's what I say. Let's get started here. All right, recorder's running. Thanks again, everyone. For those who don't know, this is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. We have the Hit and Run Candlestick room up, and I am, or will be, in the Right Way Options room today as well, because as you all know, Doug is out. Okay, so Friday, I was out completely Friday, goofing off, vacationing, that sort of thing. And Friday, wow, what a nasty little candle here. And I sent a couple of notes out, I think two, I believe, over the weekend through, the social media platforms. And I think we need to take note of that double top. I think we seriously need to take note of that. And then I think we need to take note of this really nasty candle right there. The sellers, the bulls tried to bring us up, and evidently there's a group of sellers up here, or bears, that just doesn't want price to get through there, so down price goes. So we're really in a dilemma today. What is today going to do? Or maybe what is tomorrow going to do? It may take a day or two, could be one day. But we need to see those bulls. If we're going to remain bullish, we're going to have to see them move up, attack, and win. They can attack all they want. If there will be a time where they won't win, and then they're going to fall down and hit the bottom here. Two lines I have up here. 496, 80, is that a 7? Something like that. Right through here. We fall down here, then what we're going to do is test the trend indicator. Now, I totally believe in the trend, and it doesn't matter if the trend is up or if the trend is down. I just don't. I just think that is the way, I think that's the way trading should be. That is my own personal opinion. But that's what I like, is to follow the trend. So we really don't want that to cave in underneath those green dots. I think there's a chance we get down to 492.43 here. Of course, we're going to have to crack that first red line there. And there is a real possibility. In fact, last week I had mentioned to everybody in the room that I would be a little bit cautious because I think we are going to pull back. And so far, that's what we've done. Now, this could mean two things, okay? Because when you have a low, high, and a pullback, one thing that could mean is that, okay, the sellers are taking over. It could mean that. The other thing it could mean is we have the low, the high, and the higher low. It could mean that we're setting up to move higher. Because while this is maybe a bearish scenario when you tag in that double top up here and you tag in that candle that was given to us Friday, you might look at that as a little bearish. But do not overlook the fact you've got half of a bullish chart set up. Low, high, higher, low. So really what we need is some information. And it would be nice if today gave us that information. Are we going to pop up and run north here for the bulls, or are we going to pop out and run south for the sellers here? So watch the trend. This is going to be very, very important, okay? Take a look at, let's take a look at this 60-minute, and I want to take away the real time. It kind of skews it. Look at the real time, and you can see it right here, what might be trying to happen. Let me turn this into pen and make it red. We come up here and we've got this big hump right in here, and then you've got that big hump right in there. You've got this low. You've got the possibility of a bearish M pattern forming. This is one reason why these lines are going to be important. They need to hold. If they don't hold, what it does is it starts to create that M pattern for confirmation, and that would send us down for a little bit. So anyway, that's my 2 cents in thinking on the market right there. Let me turn this real time back on. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks, Right Way Option folks. Thanks, Hit and Run Candlestick folks. I have a few charts we need to look at. And I really want to focus just simply on the trend, because what we have is there's there's several parts of a chart. And the trend, we'll call the trend, like here's a nice bullish trend. And then here we get kind of choppy. And then that bullish or that bearish trend starting to look strong like this bullish trend, just bearish versus bullish. Well, that's, the whole trend is one section. And then as a trader, then you as a trader, and we discuss this all day in the room, okay, is how do you get that entry? That's another conversation. That is another something else on a chart that has to be looked at. So there's several pieces on a chart that need to be looked at. So as I'm looking at charts today, I would like everyone to focus on what the trend is, and that's the way one should trade, in my personal opinion. So here's XPE, EXPE, there we go, that's set up in a bearish trend. And now it's rallied up, giving us a possible entry opportunity right in through here. So remember, the trend is your friend. The trend will stay a trend until it's no longer a trend. Doesn't matter if it's bullish or bearish. Here's a great example right here. That chart right there was about as bearish gets. And then it changed directions. And now the trend became as bullish gets. And then this is where Julie, Kevin, John, Joe, Brad, Jim, Dicron, we've got to decide where we want to enter, where we want to buy this to collect some of that run. Now, we have some ways of doing that, like 3/8 trap. I'm not going to go any further than that right now, but that's a great way to do it. So if you just break things down a little bit, it's a lot easier, I think. Sorry to take so long on that. Let's take a look at Walmart. So Walmart is really happy today, evidently, and you can clearly see the trend in Walmart. Okay. So now trend is pulled away from trend. So what that tells me is I'm not really interested. I'm interested, but I'm not interested. I want Walmart to settle down. So what we might do with Walmart is let it break out, let it do its thing, whatever it wants to do today. And then what we'll do tomorrow is follow the candle. And we'll look for those entries up here. Now, some folks are going to wait for it to pull all the way back to trend. Some folks are going to wait for it to move sideways. Some folks are going to wait for just a little bit of price action. Some folks will wait for a breakout and buy. And this is where we as traders, grown-up traders, we've got to decide what works best for us. Sometimes practice, we can figure that out, practice what works. Because somebody that waits for trend and buys it, and somebody buys it here, and somebody else buys it here, every person in here could make money. Every person. You just got to kind of, what is your way? And practice on it. But don't lose money while you're practicing. You know that you can practice with paper accounts, or even buying one share is a way to practice. Anyway, I better get going here. I'm sorry, I get a little off base here, and I apologize. See, look here, Lasky Air Group. See how the trend is starting? Right there. Now, this is very young. There's no question about it. It's extremely, extremely young. I'm not saying it's going to go higher. I'm not saying it's going to go for the next 30 days like that, or 20 days for that matter. But we have a trend started. You've got growth going on. So that's what I want to see. I want to see that growth going on. And now I want to work with an entry in here. And then I always want to be able to see a target. Again, there's several little layers into a chart. And we're covering mostly trend right here this morning. But nice little trend. And here you've got price above the T-line above the trendicator's green. I'm interested. I'm very interested. What about all that? What about all this resistance over here on the side? If a chart is not making an all-time new high, newsflash, it's running into resistance everywhere. If there's anything on the left, that's resistance. ITUB. Look at ITUB. Last week we talked about ITUB. We drew this little wedge around ITUB, and what we needed to know was more information. See, what we didn't know last week was ITUB actually going to break out bullishly, or was it going to break out bearishly? Now, because we had the way it led into it, you tend to lean to the bullish side. So now we have that breakout. So now we can look to trade. So now what we want to do is wait for that entry moment. And everybody, Brad, Jim, myself, Julie, Kevin, we might have different ideas about entry. I think we can all pretty much agree on trend. I think we can all make that part of our scanning or our trading. The entry sometimes becomes a little personal toward each individual. So, but I think ITUB is setting up a nice little pullback in ITUB is what I would like to see, and then boom. Now the key here is to put it on your watch list. Okay, that's the key. So everybody should have a watch list. Let's see here. Note. Take a look at Note. Look how Note. This was a rounded bottom breakout, and look at the trend. See those green dots? Beautiful trend. Now it's up to us as traders to find that entry that we can climb aboard. Well, this could be an entry. Inside day. I love inside days. So here we have a big pop-up. There's the inside day. I'm going to draw down to the T-line in some cases. In some cases, I will go right down there to the green dot, but I think I'm going to stay right here at the T-line because if it goes below the T-line, I wouldn't want it. So it's an inside day. That becomes an entry area because we're still looking for price to move higher. Okay? The trend. Follow the trend. I need to find a bearish one. Look at URA. Look at URA. I had somebody mention to me, how can URA be going down because uranium is so important? I said the importance of uranium has nothing to do with the chart moving up or down. The only thing that has to do with the chart moving up and down are buyers and sellers. That's it. People like you and me. That's it. So what are the buyers and sellers doing? Well, right now, there are more sellers than buyers. See the trend that's starting using the dots? And now we use other things too. You know, as we look at a chart, there's other things we put in a chart. For instance, there's a chart pattern called the blue ice failure, right? We all love it. At least I think those that have it, those that use it, love it. And that's where we fail the 50-period moving average. And that's that blue line right there. Well, here's the T-line about to fail it. Here's the trend indicator about to fail it. Price has already failed it. There's your trend. So follow your trend. Now, you want to work with that entry. You don't want to make outlandish entries. You know, you don't want the price to get down here and then make your entry down there. That's not what we do as traders. We sharpen our pencils and we try to make better entries than that. So we try to make entries maybe in here. This would be at 3/8 trap entry that many of you know. And then we're looking for it to move down till support. Where's support? Support is when buyers start buying it. Then it's like, oh my, that must be support. So here's one moving down. I thought I had another one on here, but I'm running out of time. Here's CVS. Look at the trend that's starting. See the trend down? See the trend change? See the trend over here? Bullish, bearish, bullish. Just follow that trend. Follow that trend up. Follow that trend down. Follow that trend up. IBM. There was a lot of talk about IBM last week, which I think is a bullish chart. Look at that trend up. See those dots? See how price popped up? It got too far away from trend. This happens pretty much every time. You get too far away from trend, and then what happens? Price settles down. We're getting close, bouncing around the T-line, a little bit on the Trendicator, and now it looks like price is starting up again. So now it's up to us as traders to negotiate our way into that little price package right there. Okay. Anyway, the trend's your best friend, whether it's going up or whether it's going down. It works on intraday. It also works on daily, works on weekly, works on monthly. It's one of those staples you can put in your toolbox. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Please have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll be back here at bottom of the hour in about 25 minutes, okay? Market will be open there. Adam, I'll get you when I come back in about 30 minutes, all right? Thanks.